Aladdin. I told them everything was all imagined, and that my mind was just a weapon that I meddled in to make magnets. Told them I would win, I would never stop. Told them I would make it, told them I would fucking climb up to the top. How I did it, climb mountains, wasn't afraid of the drop. Put my city on the map with a bucket and a mop. What you thought? That I would pack up and quit?
This is Self-Proclaimed, man, where, listen, I'm bringing you guys the realest, the truest, the stories of people who have gotten it out the mud, just like myself, right? Who have a phenomenal story that I want them to bring here live to y'all to be able to inspire you to, so that you can see that you can get through anything. Like, if we can make it, if we've done what we've done and overcome and climb the mountains that we have, you too can do the same thing, man. So I don't charge anything for this show. Literally, I just want to add value to people, man, and pour into others and really paint a vision that maybe you have a vision in your mind and that you see and you're pushing through for, and it's hard and it's gonna keep getting hard, right? But I want you to be inspired not to quit, because here on Self-Proclaimed, right, you have to understand something. Being self-proclaimed is the vision that you have inside of you, that you have proclaimed to yourself that you are going to do and that you're going to push through, right? So being self-proclaimed is exactly that. When you and only you see the vision within yourself, when everybody else is talking down, when everybody else is trying to convince you to quit, when everybody else are the naysayers and just talking shit on your dream, you have to proclaim it within yourself to be able to fulfill it and keep driving forward and push through and achieve the dream, man. And so listen, today here I have the fucking huge honor of having my guy, Anthony Lopez, AKA Heavy to Modify, bro. Man.
What, bro, let me just say, bro, your intro shits on my podcast intro, bro. You just crushed it, bro. I'm in here like, I was about to start clapping. I was about to start clapping right now. You had me in it, bro. Like, I was like, ooh, I want to be inspired. Oh, wait, I'm actually the one going to be talking to. Oh, holy shit, man. Bro, you and Q, you guys articulate this, like, you just paint a picture, right? And it just shows like how long you guys been talking and how like the heartfelt conversations you have and how much you love this shit, dude. It's fucking sick, man.
Thank you,
I love
brother.
that. I forgot what was I supposed to say right now? you got me, bro. I just liked the video and shared it, bro. I liked it. You on one.
Love
Hit the
it,
bell,
bro.
everything. Subscribe where we at right now,
Let's get it, man.
bro. Thank you for having me on, man. I'm excited to be out here and excited to share my story with maybe that one person that needed to hear it today.
Facts, bro. So, dude, you have a phenomenal fucking story. Like you're not, so a lot of people who might see you today or have been following you for a short period of time, you might seem like an overnight, all of a sudden sensation.
Oh,
But bro, you have a fucking journey, brother.
man, you know what? I used to like have like that victim mentality, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh man, like why can't I be skinnier? Why can't I get that girl? Or why can't I get this? You know what I mean? I had to go through all that stuff. I had to be lazy. I had to half-ass my life because then it allowed me to appreciate what I have now. You know what I mean? And my story is it's no different than anyone else who's willing to put in the work. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. I just took action. I thought about it, I envisioned it, but I studied it and I put in the work to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's the only part that a lot of us are missing is putting in the work to do it. You know what I mean? Like you said, people didn't believe in me. People made fun of me. People still make fun of me, bro. And I'm human. It sucks to see it, but at the same time, like I'm generally happy now. Like there's no band-aids on me. Like I don't have to hide anything. I'm not a one person at home, one person behind closed door, and then the person that like I'm secretly and I'm the bad person that no, I don't show anybody. Like I am generally now Anthony Lopez. I do what makes me happy. I stick to my goals. I fail. I learn. I fail. I learn, and I keep pushing now. Like there's nothing that I'm not wanting. I don't know if I wanted to fucking go for Olympic gold medal tomorrow. Then guess what? I'm gonna work towards it. I don't know what the next thing I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm just not taking no for any type of answer. And when people tell me I can't do something, that's like the biggest trigger I have, bro, now. And if people are like, oh, shouldn't worry what people say. No, if you say I can't do something, I generally believe I can. I'm going to prove myself right. I'm not here to prove anyone wrong. I'm here to prove myself right.
I love that, bro.
You know?
I love that. That's, that's self-empowerment, man. And, to get there, it's a struggle to get there. Like, just so you guys know, right? Like, we weren't always like this. It's a journey to get here. That's the journey called life that you're going to go through. But you got to understand something, that on that journey, as you are refined, right? Because really that journey is like the process for gold being made.
100%.
For gold to be made, man, it's got to go through the fire.
Yeah, you got to go through the fire. Yeah, it's a process.
And
it's a process. It
when,
looks ugly. It looks ugly. It's hot.
It's
probably
hot.
sweaty.
It's honestly, you see all the impurities coming to the top, which make it even uglier as it's being made. But the funny part is, right, is that when all that's happening, when all that bullshit is being burned out of you, out of the gold, right?
You turn into something precious.
They come along, they scrape all that bullshit off the top, they just throw it to the side, right? And then they take what's there, that pure gold, and now it gets poured into the clay, right? And molded into that shape, into that fine piece of jewelry that most of us wear. You know what I mean?
That was amazing.
But it's a process to get there into that display case. See, like right now, people see us as being on the display case of life, right? Like we're what's made it, or we're what's happening or trending or whatever, right?
Yep.
But they don't see what it takes to get here. They don't see the work. They don't see the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't see the behind the scenes, you know, and it's so crazy. Like you talk about that, like, how people envision us, or people see us, or like, you know, how you maybe look at me, or how I look at you, or Q looks at me, or I look at Q, whatever it might be, right? I don't see myself in that. I see myself as Anthony Lopez. I actually just talked about this on my YouTube channel. I see myself as Anthony Lopez. I don't want to see myself as heavy and modified. I don't want to see myself as the following, as the story, as being impactful. I just want to continue to see myself. I'll let other people see me how they look at me, but I want to keep looking at myself the same, because I never want to change my why and forget my why. You know what I mean? Like, I just know how to work. Right, that's all it is. I just know how to work. I understand my weaknesses. I understand my strong points, and I just work, and I just work, and I just work, and I just work. Just like you, you're Pablo. You just work. You know one thing, and you know what to work. Why? Because you've lived without, right? You've had a very, very long life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not done. All you know is that you just need to work, right? Because you know how it is to not work, or maybe not work the right way. I know how it is to be over 600 pounds. I know how it is to be disappointed in myself. I know how it is for people to make fun of me. I don't ever want to live that life. So I just need to keep working, right? Keep working, keep pushing. I don't care what anyone has to say about me, whether they like me, don't like me. I'm here, like I said earlier, to prove myself right. And if it inspires everyone on the way, amazing, a blessing. If you don't like me, you can't stand me because of my color, because of my shape, because of my size, because of my skin, cool, I'm not for you. But like I said, I'm here to prove myself right. And I feel like a lot of us haven't mastered that yet. We go and we do shit to impress other people, right? We go to do things to like kind of impress the wrong. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with my filmer Dove, right? And we're talking about, like, you know, being at the club, right? Being at the club, and you see the people that are most successful, chill, humble, chilling, just having a good time, vibing out, right? Don't even know these people are $1 million people. But then you see the people that look like the $1 million people, right? The ones with no manners, the one they're trying to flex, the one, and that's like, I was that person trying to impress these people. But why am I trying to impress that? Why not just impress myself? Why not know what I'm worth? Why not know my self-worth, right? That bottle, my watch, my car shouldn't represent me being successful. I'm not successful even if I own that, if I didn't believe in myself and feel that I'm really successful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we get lost in that, like, weird trap of like trying to impress the wrong people when we should be trying to impress ourselves.
But you know, to get to that point where you recognize that it's within self that true happiness is, you have to really do a true evaluation of self, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the point that you got to where you did that internal self evaluation, right? And where you at the moment where literally, you know what, you hit the switch and said, fuck this shit, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Take us there, and let's give the viewers
let's paint a picture.
View. Yeah, let's paint a picture of
I gotta get better at anyways. Gotta get better at anyway.
Hey,
let's go.
It's the journey.
It is
you know
a journey.
What I mean, well, let's talk about how it was for you, where you were at, what like, let's go back in time, right?
Damn.
Paint the picture and take us to where you flipped the switch.
So let me start off. I was over 600 pounds. I've lived a life of being overweight since as a kid. Came out overweight, stayed overweight my whole entire life. You know, I grew up in a background. My family, my dad is black, my mom is Mexican. Primarily raised from my Mexican side of the family. Well, we all know food. Right, everything we do is food. Everything is food. My mom was a single mom when I was a kid growing up, and was like fast food. What is simplicity? Fast food. And my mom wasn't taught nutrition. My grandparents weren't taught nutrition, so I wasn't taught nutrition. Right. So elementary school, biggest kid in the room. Junior high, biggest kid in the room. High school, biggest kid in the room. And I'm talking about high school, like when I played football, I had to get 2 pair of football pants to sew together in order for me to make that game. Moms are the best. My mom got that done. She is like, my son is going to play. I don't care what we got to do. We're going to get
Shout
that
out
done.
to moms
Yeah,
for the
shout out to moms.
dedication.
And so obviously from a kid to elementary school to high school, I wasn't working on myself. I didn't care. I just had confidence, right? I think I had too much confidence growing up, which led into obesity and then morbid obesity and then or being morbidly obese. Sorry. And after I graduated high school, after football was gone, after shot put and discus was gone, it was a party, right? You know what you do, you party. And I never cared about my health, but I was always on a diet, right? I was always losing weight. I was always in the gym. I was always eating right. Really, now looking back at my old self, I had a victim mentality, right? I'm just big bone. It's my genetics, whatever it is. All these things I know that were lies now, which took me that soul searching to figure this out, right? Which we'll get to a little bit later. But then 400 pounds, 500 pounds, for around 500 pound, 510, 520. I don't know the exact number, but it's 500 mark for sure. My grandpa was given 6 months to live. Me and my grandpa were close. Like when I say grandpa, it was my dad. Like that's how close we are. Like every amazing memory I have, he was in there. So obviously when you get cancer, go through hospice, a lot of stuff happens. I'm not sure if anyone knows about or has had someone with cancer or has been there for someone with cancer, but I did what the hospice nurse should do because my grandpa didn't want to be touched by a whole bunch of nurses and stuff like that. So I did everything. And as I was sitting there watching my best friend pass away, it was hard. So I went from 500, 510, 520, whatever the number is, to over 600 pounds in less than 9 months. And I lived a life of self-confidence. Even though I was overweight and that was insecurity, I didn't let people know. I didn't show that to people, right? I had the cool truck, right? The one thing trying to impress people. Maybe if I had the cool truck with 5 TVs, 6 TVs, people wouldn't notice me, right? If I had the coolest shoes on, then maybe girls would want to talk to me. Whatever it is, right? I lived a life of fucking Band-Aids, bro. I just remember that in my head. I'm like, oh, damn. So always trying to impress the wrong people, right? Instead of trying to work on myself. So when I lost my grandpa, I stayed up with my grandma for another, we'll say like 4 or 5 months in total, of like a little less than a year, maybe 11 months in total from when we got the news my grandpa passed away. And I was in depression, brother. When I got home, bro, I was over 600 pounds. My scale didn't read me. It said air. And I've never been depressed. I was at the point where I had to literally Google my feelings to let me know what depression was because I didn't believe in depression. And remember, I just said that because we're going to get into the further story and it's going to make sense why I said that. I didn't believe in depression. Thought it was fake. Thought it like, how are you gonna be depressed when you look good, you have the best looking girlfriend, or how are you even gonna be anything? Like I'm over here, been overweight my whole life. I'm not depressed. You can't be depressed, right?
Right.
I was thinking I was being really selfish. Went through depression, suicidal thoughts, and I've never, bro, I love life to the fullest, even at 400, 500, 600 pounds. Well, apparently not 600 pounds, but you know what I mean? Leading up to my whole entire life, right? This is till I was 27. I love life. I didn't care that I was overweight. I was happy with myself, from what is. I still love myself. I still knew my self-worth, but obviously there was some insecurities I had and some problems I had with eating that I couldn't control, right? It was an addiction. And I got to a point of like having suicidal thoughts where it's like, this is not me. But I couldn't control it. I was depressed. I couldn't get happy. My girlfriend was worried about me. My grandma was worried about me. My family was worried about me because what I seen and what I went through, it's no different what anyone's ever done or went through with someone that has cancer. I know that. My story is not unique. It's just cancer, right? But how I took it was bad. You know what I mean? I was overeating. I was stressed. I'm not a big drinker, so it was food that was replacing any type of other crutches. Food was the crutch. And so I just for like 3-4 days, I was just depressed. I couldn't be happy. There's nothing that I could do that would make me happy because the one thing that I wanted was my grandpa to come back, and it was never coming back. So I was just, I didn't know what to do. And so once I started having those suicidal thoughts and those horrible dreams, I woke up and I was like, you know what? There's two steps for me. Either I take my life today, right? Or I get my stuff together. I have a sister that has a learning disability. I have a younger brother. I have a family who loves me. I have cousins who look up to me. I have people that want to see me win. I should enjoy life. Like my grandpa couldn't go to the gym, eat clean, and lose cancer. But I could go to the gym and eat clean and lose my version of cancer, which is obesity. And since that day, I've never looked back. I've never looked back, and I caught traction. I on social media when I posted it. I didn't want to post it. Right, goes into one of those things where it's like I had like this ego, right? Like people didn't know I was over 600 pounds. I was just Anthony Lopez. Everyone knew I was overweight, right? I didn't want to accept it. But I ended up posting it, and I went. My first viral video was going to my first 100 pounds that I lost, right? And then moving in from that happening and stuff like that. The reason why I brought up going through depression, not believing in it, is what we were kind of talking about earlier. Is that you get to go through these trials and tribulations to bleed into other people, right? And this is where I get to bleed in someone for my first time, where I realize that everything that happens in life may not be for you, but it might be for you to help someone else. Because fast forward, no more than like after my first 100 pounds, no more than like a couple months after that, my best friend ended up going through the most difficult time in his life for 2 years, right? And he went through a very bad depression, very, very bad depression. Like I've never seen someone so bad before, where I thought I had it bad. And if I didn't go through that, if I didn't go through taking care of my grandpa and going through my version of depression, then how was I gonna be able to bleed into my best friend? I wouldn't be able to relate with him. I wouldn't accept his depression. I probably would have been like, well, I just lost my grandpa. I just literally had to take care of someone dying every single day, and you're sad over this. You know what I mean? And the fact I went through it, I related with them, and I got to be there for him, and I got to help him through his hardest time. So my hardest time got to help someone else through my hardest time. And that's when I learned that I need to get this done, and not for myself, but for other people. Because when the post went viral, so many DMs of people like, I can't believe you post yourself of that size. I can't believe you're getting this done. I love your story. I love your doing. Where'd you go? Where'd you do this? Where'd you go for this? Like, you know what I mean? And people are so in like inspired by it. And that was at like 105 pounds down. That wasn't even, I've lost a total of 350. And ever since then, I decided that yes, this weight loss journey is for my health, but it got to a point where this weight loss journey is now for people that don't believe in themselves, right? Because there's been a lot of self-development in this. That it's not just weight loss. Like weight loss is the icing on the cake of this. It's been self-development. It's been learning that I've been the problem. It's been getting rid of my victim mentality and these excuses and band-aids. Like that's what this weight loss has done for me. Yes, I've lost a lot of weight, but it's been more of the mental side, the mental shift. I had to go through these trials and tribulations. I had to build I had to build a strong core in order to finally chisel off all this excess weight and become who I am today. Is this person that was heartbroken, depressed, suicidal thoughts, been made fun of since elementary school. I had to go through that. I had to go through that because maybe the next person could have handled that, right? Maybe the next person that lost weight couldn't handle the words that are said on social media, but I can handle them. Like I'm built for this. Right, I wrote that down like 20,000 times yesterday before I went on stage. I was like, I'm built for this. I'm built for this. I'm built for this. I wrote it down. I didn't say it. I wrote it down.
That's your mantra.
I'm built for this. I'm built for this, And now being where I'm at today, because the simple thing that is the most difficult thing, I chose to work on myself and realize that I was a problem that was up to me to fix this problem. Now I get to help hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people, whether they watch my video or they listen to whatever I'm saying, or they just generally just see my story and they see one part of them that like, you know what, I could get this done too. You know what I mean? Now I get to bleed into people because I chose to work on myself, right? I talked about on stage yesterday, is that, yes, it's amazing to help people, but you can't help anyone unless you help yourself. Unless you are generally happy with who you are as a person, you cannot help anyone because you're just faking the funk, right? And I think you said something that was really amazing about me talking on stage, is that you said I was so pure. And that's all I want to be. Yeah, it's all I want to be. Is I never want to lose that why. Like, I want people to always look at me and see their self in the reflection, because I'm no different. I'm fucking ADHD, dyslexic. I spell like a 7-year-old kid. But the one thing that I learned is to work on myself and figure out my strong points and double down on my strong points and pay people to do things that I'm not good at. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Learn to delegate.
Learn to delegate, right?
Learn to delegate.
And that's all it is, man. Like that's my story in a nutshell. And
bro, it's awesome because it's like, man, one of the key things I really like grabbed from you right now, man, is this. Your journey started and began because of a trial and a tribulation that you were going through.
Yeah.
But in that trial and that tribulation that you grabbed your inspiration from, right? In the process, you've inspired hundreds of thousands of people.
It's
right?
Blessing.
And then the crazy thing is that what these people don't realize is that from you inspiring them and them reaching out to you and them beginning their journey, going through their journey, right? That people like us, we draw inspiration from that.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like
a circle. It's a circle of life.
Yeah.
It's what Lion King.
Yeah.
It's a circle of life. You know,
Facts.
I get DMs, people like, you're probably not going to see this, but I just lost 20 pounds because I've been watching your videos. I'm like, yes, I seen this. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. I wasn't trying to go to the gym today, but guess what? Now I'm
You
going
just
to the
made
gym.
me
You
want to
just
go
made me wanna
harder.
go to the gym
Like,
today.
I got to go out here
And I
and do
feed
this
off
because
that.
I got you watching me.
It's difficult, bro. It is difficult to lose weight. It's difficult to maintain the weight loss. Even with weight loss surgeries, the success rate is not a long term. Why? Because people don't break the bad habits with food. And when people go on yo-yo diets, the success is not long term. Why? Because people don't pay attention and learn. They don't break bad habits. They still keep the bad habits. They just run off of motivation, but they don't build discipline on the way. You know what I mean? And that's with anything. I just got on stage and talked to a whole bunch of millionaires and people that didn't have anything to do with the weight loss community. And why did my story resonate with them? Why did I have people, some people in tears, a lot of people clapping? Is because weight loss is a lot of fucking work. Business is a lot of fucking work. You need discipline. You need structure. You need to break your bad habits. You need to realize that, get rid of your self-doubt. Understand that you're going to fail. What did you learn from the situation? Like, I took a situation that was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. I took a situation that I went through that made me have suicidal thoughts and put me in depression. And somehow I found positive and light at that. And now I get to share my story because it's so anyone out there is going through any type of problem, any type of trials, tribulations. You're going to tell me that you can't find something positive. What did you learn from that situation? I don't care if it's one thing or 100 things you learned from it. Find that positive in that situation you're going through and take that one positive thing and double down on that and keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. You know, I dug myself out of a hole, rock bottom, and I learned from that version of myself of that rock bottom. And I know I never want to feel like that again. So I'm going to do everything in my power to not feel like that, you know? And that's just by working every single day and is helping as many people as possible. Everyone knows someone's had cancer before, you know? My story's not unique, right?
I just got back from New York because right before Christmas, my sister, right? I have one sister, bro. She's my older sister. Love her to death. But I got one sister, dude. And our story is freaking crazy because we didn't grow up together. We got different dads. And literally, I didn't even get to meet my sister until I got out of prison. That was the first time I ever met my sister face to face.
Damn.
Right? And bro, right before Christmas, she's coming down. We had this big old plan for us to have dinner with my mom, and it's the first time my mom was gonna have all her kids together, right? And dude, she says, "Man, I'm not feeling good." She hadn't been eating right for a couple of days. Thought she might have had COVID. Goes to the hospital, gets checked out. Says, "Hey, you can't leave." And we find out she's got cancer. And literally, I flew up to New York because the day after New Year's, she had an emergency surgery, removed her kidney, her spleen, opened her chest all the way open. Like I put a couple videos up about it when I was up there in the hospital, you know, just to share and, you know, get some prayers. I wanted to uplift her because, you know, it's a lot going through that, man. Like seeing someone you love suffering, battling something that it's not something like I can, you know,
you
throw
could
down.
probably-
With, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
if it came to throwing the hands with anything,
We're in it.
anyone, I'm in it.
Yeah,
Let's get
for
it.
sure.
You know what I mean? I'm not ducking no wreck. But like I couldn't help my sister. Like I just had to sit there and just keep her positive.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
all you could do, man.
So many people sink into the hole of negativity, which leads into the hole of depression and then so much more.
Yeah.
And they never find their way out. And literally you get yourself trapped into that mindset, not realizing that you're trapping yourself in that mindset, making your body literally kill itself.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
put
mean?
yourself in this box. Oh yeah, I know. I mastered that. You know what I mean? I found I was so into the negative. Oh, the last 4 months, what happened the last 4 months that I seen, but I wasn't paying attention to the last 27 years I had with my grandpa. You know, so it's
That's
one of those
deep,
things
bro.
where just it's so easy to be negative. Like yesterday, I heard something that I'm gonna remember forever, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I tattoo this on me. Negative people have negative bank accounts. You know what I mean? I heard that
remember
yesterday,
that.
and
And that's a fact, bro, because
what I
they're
mean?
always critiquing everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that the ones that are critiquing, the ones that are being negative, the ones that are trying to shit on the dream, those are the
ones that
very
are not
ones that
working
are
hard.
broke as fuck and be the first one to ask you for a damn loan when you make it.
Exactly.
It's hilarious.
Exactly. So I was like, you know, and that's where I was. I was in that negative person. I was. When you're overweight, you're not happy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I don't care whatever influence you follow, if they have 100 followers or 100 million followers. At the end of the day, if they're overweight, they are not happy. You're not happy. There's things you can't do. There's life that you're actually missing out on. Like, you know, I didn't go to a music park to my brother until last year. And I'm talking about from when he was old enough for us to go be that, because we're just like 7-year difference.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I didn't go till last year. I'm 32 years old. I went with my 25-year-old brother, 26-year-old at the 25. I don't know the number. He just turned a number. You know, last year or a couple months ago. Sorry, a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's like how shitty of a person I have an older brother I am that I couldn't, you know, I let my weight get so bad where I missed out on so much opportunities to make memories with them, right? So it's like it's you're not happy. Like yes, you feel like you're happy because you're not you've adapted to your weight, you've adapted to your size, you adapted to that life of restriction, but you're generally not happy, right? Because when that girl didn't ask you ask for your number, that guy didn't ask you for your number, that hurts, that hits home. Why you feel like, oh, you know why it was? Because you're not their type. Why? Because they're not into overweight people, right? Or you go into a store and the only thing you can buy is a hat or a pair of shoes because everything else doesn't fit you. Like you're not a happy person. You'll put on a mask, you'll put on band-aids, you'll have a fake smile, but when you go home behind closed door, you're genuinely not happy because there's something about you that you want to fix, but you have not put in the work yet.
Bro, that's a fact because I can tell you this, and I know Quentin will relate to this too. Like we're still big dudes, right? But we are both pretty big, right? And it's crazy because Quentin showed me a picture, like right before I went to Florida with the kids, right? And he said, "Bro, look at you. This was I think this was at the first Ground Zero event where I spoke at, right? I was in a suit." Dude, I look like a fucking penguin in a suit, man. Like, I like, and then I don't even know why he let me go on stage with that haircut that I had, man.
Damn, I gotta see this photo.
Oh my god, bro! I look like Foghorn,
Oh,
right?
no.
You know the chicken from the Looney Tunes
yeah.
cartoon. I look like Foghorn with my hair curly and shit. Oh my god, I can't believe. But I killed the presentation. I killed it on stage. Like I got a standing ovation that day.
Hell yeah.
So it was fucking dope. But in truth, man, I can say that at my unhealthiest, I was at my worst. Like I was stressed, I was depressed. Like
You're
I have
unhappy.
PTSD, so I was having episodes and shit. Like the last, I can like, and I know me and you are gonna dive into this later on, but like the last like 2.5 years of my life had been freaking insane. And it was like a couple months ago, probably about 7, 8 months ago, where Quentin had like really sat down with me and he was like, "Bro, you got to get happy. You got to get to where you're happy with the man in the mirror. You know what I mean? Where
Exactly.
you can look at yourself every morning and be happy with what you see. Because when you're happy with what you see, even if you're happy with what you see as you're going on the journey, it'll make your production and what you're doing happier. You'll feel and enjoy everything that you're doing because it's part of the
Yes,
growth.
exactly.
And when you can absorb that growth, when you can take it in and acknowledge and accept that, hey, yeah, I'm not where I want to be, but because I'm on the journey there, I'm getting happier within myself. It's going to make you put out a better version of yourself.
When you're getting become better every single day. Like I remember going in the mirror when I first started. I was like, "This is the last time I'm going to look like this."
Mhm.
5 days later, 10 days later, 2 weeks later, a month later, this is the last time I'm going to look like this. This is the last time I'm going to look like this. And every single time I get in the mirror, I say it and I say it. And now I'm sitting here at 265 with abs. You know what I mean?
Hello.
So it's like, so one of those things that like I really learned over the course of 4 or 5, well, my whole entire life I've learned, but I started implementing in the last 4 to 5 years of my life where now I genuinely believe in myself and I seen the big version of myself. Now I would be lying to everyone out there if I said I envisioned myself being here today and doing what I'm doing and traveling and being on shows and all. I would be lying about that. I never in my life thought I would be an online coach and a motivational speaker and someone that's get to pour in other people and help them with their journey, be a part of their journey and help them build their mindset. I would be lying. I thought I was maybe like making some movies or something like that. I was a videographer for this. But what I do know is that I envisioned myself being successful. I never thought being successful in the weight loss community and having a voice. I never thought of that. No, but you don't know where life is going to take you when you decide to work on yourself because you really don't know who you really are as a person until you work on yourself. And when I started working on myself, I know I liked helping people. I've always liked people, bro. I love people. I talk to my clients every single week and I could tell them what they did last week without taking notes because I generally care about people. So now my whole entire life of liking to talk to people and being around people, I hate being around myself, bro. Like I hate it. Like my girlfriend, she can do everything by herself. To me, it's the craziest shit. But if I'm going to the restroom, bro, I'm calling my girl to come over and hang out with me. Like I don't like doing nothing by myself. I love this. Like I love being around people, especially people I care about. I love being around. Like I love it. It's not there like a security blanket. I just love people, right? So the whole entire life I've been like that. As a kid, always talking too much, right? You know, we talked about
Yeah.
ADHD and what was the other one? Dyslexic. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like ADHD. I guess I know I have ADHD for sure. You know, as a
Me
kid, I would
too.
always talk too much. My brain would go a million miles a second. You know what I mean? And well, cool, whatever it is, it's made me who I am today. I haven't done anything to fix it now. Why start now, right? So I love people and I love being around people. So little did I know that me enjoying being around people and liking people, because the way my family raised me with a lot of confidence and to respect people and to appreciate people. Because my family I feel like my family raised me like I was gold. They seen gold before before they never seen the dirt. They just seen I was gold, and that gave me so much confidence in me liking people and be so interested into people, to now look what I get to do, because I was built this way and I put in the work. Now I turned into me liking people and to me now helping people. Right. So I found my calling, I found my passion, and that is to pour into other people. That is to help other people. That's to share my story, share my insecurities, share my loose skin, and share my hard work and share my testimony. And hopefully that day I get to help that one person that needed to hear it, and I'm just going to continue to do that. Like utilize, a talent that I was given, utilize the work that I put in to continue to become better for myself. And the better I get, the more I can help other people.
Facts, bro. It's a whole process with what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One, the journey within self, the personal development, the growth that has to happen, that takes
Yeah.
place, right? But none of that is possible. I feel this is my personal thought, and I want to get your feedback on it, right? I feel like none of what we do, none of what you do on a daily basis, no aspect of your journey could have been done without a why, right?
No.
Because you got to have. I got a mentor of mine, right? That years ago, he told me this. He said, "Man, I see a lot of guys. They come in, they get started, they swear they're gonna get it, sound good, but then the first little adversity that comes their way, they break down like an old freaking Nissan pickup, right?
Damn.
And
Those are bad.
yeah,
Those V8s are bad. Those things are bad.
And he told me, he says, "You know why that happens, Pablo?" And I said, "Why?" And shout out to David Velasquez, right? Love this guy. He's one of my first mentors. He said, "Dude, because they don't have a big enough why." Right? And I said, "A why?" He said, "Man, you may not know this, but the reason why you've been able to do what you do and overcome is because you've got a why. There's a reason behind what you do, why you're doing what you do, right?" And he said, "Man, see, your why is just bigger than their why. And it's bigger than their why, not because yours is more significant or because yours involves more pain or it's more powerful. It's just because to you it means more. To you, that why is powerful enough to get you out of bed in the morning.
Exactly.
That why is big enough for you to stay up late at night and go rock out the next day on 2-3 hours of sleep, right?"
Exactly. And that's probably a lot of times of the week too.
Yeah, and here's the thing that he hit me with though. He says, "Bro, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough.
Facts.
If your why doesn't move you, rain, sleet, or snow, to fucking push through whatever it is you're dealing with, it's not strong enough, right?" And for us, right, going through those deep freaking valleys, man, that why, it's like it screams out at us, man. So what was your why? What is your why even now to this day?
My why is for my family. That's my why. My why is for my family, for my family who raised me the way I became and gave me the confidence that I have. My younger brothers and sisters who look up to me. And my why, I'm a family person. Like everything I am, by the time I am done and I am successful, my ass is gonna be too old to have fun with the money. And I'm okay with that because my brothers and my sister, my family and my kids, whether I have a daughter or a son, I don't have a kid yet, but when I do have a kid, wherever they is, they're gonna be taken care of because my family took care of me. And along with that family and my why is now the people that I get to help. So I look at them as family too. If I get to help you, then you're part of my family too, because I generally want people to understand and believe in themselves if they're willing to put in work that they could do and they could achieve whatever they want to do. So when I
Amen.
wake up and I don't want to go to the gym, I think about that one person that was looking for that story post. right? I think about my brother not seeing me go to the gym and him not going to football practice. You know what I mean? So my why is for my family. My why is for the people that believe in me. My why is for the people that don't believe in themselves. You know what I mean? So like I said, it goes back, circling back to what I talked about. When you look at me, I want you to see yourself in the mirror because I am no different than anyone. I didn't grow up rich. I didn't grow up. I have the same fucking life as you, okay? I mean, I had the same life. Maybe you didn't get as big as me, amazing, cool, but I did not grow up a special way. I don't have special stories. I just decided to believe in myself, and I feel like that is what we're all lacking, is actually believing in yourself. Stop looking on social media and stop looking at the next person and stop looking at the parking lot what the next person drives to you. Worry about what you have in your lane and what you don't like and what you're going to fix, right? Stop focusing on other people and start focusing on yourself. And I'm telling everyone that is listening to this podcast, if you generally take a step back and figure out who you are as a person, you are going to be happy. And people, I feel, don't get to experience what real happiness is because they're always comparing themselves to someone that has more. You know what I mean?
And they don't see what it took to get there.
They don't see what it took to get there, and they don't understand that their story is different. Maybe someone did grow into a rich family. Okay, that's not your story, right? We focus on things that we can't change. Why don't we take a step back and focus on things that we can change, right?
Or better yet, why not step back and look, okay, maybe I don't have that, but let me look at what this person did to get there and duplicate the process. Let me take up my cross or whatever you want to call it and make this journey up the mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me take the
turn it
journey
to gold.
And what a lot of people do, bro, is that they get stuck looking at this stuff online, not seeing what you or I or anybody else did to get here, right? And become judgmental and become sour. But the biggest thing that I fucking can't stand, bro, is that the ones that go out here and they get all the knowledge, they find out every way that we did what we did.
Oh, I know where you're going.
And they don't fucking take one step.
They don't implement. I talked about it on stage. They don't implement it.
It's about taking action. That's literally all it is. You want to get to the top. You want to get to wherever it is you're trying to go, where you envision yourself at. Take all out massive action. You don't have to know what it is that you're doing. You don't have to have the book even. You don't have to have the rules and regulations or even a map. But go take action, learn how to do it, and put one foot in front of the other and realize this. And this, I say, is the biggest thing, and I think you'll agree with me. Learn how to fail forward. You're going to fucking fail. Nobody gets it right the first time, right?
I don't know anyone who has. I'm not done failing.
Exactly. Fail forward. Learn how to take your failures, get up, wipe yourself off, dust yourself off, do a little self-talk in the mirror, encourage yourself, remind yourself of why you're doing it, and guess what? Hit it again. Let's go.
People look at failure as like being so negative, right? And we've all been there. Let's be real. Now you're just talking to people that have learned to accept failure and learn from failure, right? I no longer have failure. I just have things I can learn from now.
Learning
right?
lessons.
I just learning lessons. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
People are so scared to fail, and it holds them back from even starting. Like, how are you going to? It's like waking up every single day and saying, "I'm gonna have a bad day."
Yeah, and then wonder why you have a bad.
And then wonder
day.
why you have a bad day.
Oh my God!
Day. You know
Today was a complete shitstorm. No wonder.
Also, at the same time, I want to say I've been that person. I've been that person that was so negative. I've been that person that was stuck in my own glass walls. I've been that person who didn't believe in themselves. And I get it. You're stuck. You're like, oh, this is not for me, or this is I can't do this, or this is the sun didn't come up the right side of the whatever today, right? But no, got to work on yourself. You got to push through. And you have to be okay with. I like that, failing forward. You know what I mean? Everything that we've done, everything that I've accomplished, you've accomplished, has been because we failed in something, and we got to learn from it, and we got to build from it, and then we kept going, and then we fall, and then we get back up, fall and get back up. So many people right now are falling, they just don't get back up, right? Or they just switch. They switch to the next thing, and like they're just doing so many different things instead of focus on one thing. You know, and just don't be scared of failure. Like don't be scared of failure. I was just talking to the team about this. I am so invested into my brand right now. I'm spending the more money that I've ever spent. I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life, blessing. But I'm also spending the most money I've made in my life, right? and I'm willing to give this all that I have, every single penny that I have, because I believe in myself, I believe in my team. I know what we're doing, it's for the right reasons, and I know we're going to be successful. It's going to take a lot of work, whether it take 5 months, 5 years, or 50, whatever it is, however long it takes. I don't care how long it takes, but I know with hard work, we're going to continue to grow, we're going to continue to help more people. But I am okay that in the next 5 months, I lose everything and I'm living in my mom's house and I'm figuring out how to do it, because now I'm failing, right? I failed, but now I'm failing and I lost everything, but now I have 1.7 million followers. But I failed and I have 225,000 on Instagram and I have a community behind me who trusts me. So if I lose everything, did I really fail? Because now I have more followers, I still have my story, and I have all those lessons. I'm okay to lose everything right now. The place, the car, the everything that I'm wearing right now, and move back with my mom and ready to start again. I am okay to fail because I know that I'm going to learn from the situation, and I know that I'm going to do better next time because I'm not going to want to feel that way again. I am officially okay to fail now. I am okay to get on fucking stage and trip and fall on my ass and get up and say, well, I learned there's a step there now. You know what I mean? Like, don't be scared of failing. Stop. It doesn't matter if you fail and the people are making fun of you. They're not on stage. They're not the one doing it. Everyone's laughing. Say you did fall on stage. Well, you're not on stage, motherfucker.
So
what do you
fucking
laugh so
what?
fucking what? Like, I'm human. You're not up here. You're sitting down. You paid to be here. I'm getting paid to be here. It's okay to fail. But don't let that stop you, because when you are scared to fail, you will never succeed in anything. Embrace failure. Be okay with failure.
Facts, bro. Like, you know, guys, I hope this episode you guys got a lot of value, man, because listen, one, I want you to understand, to do anything in life, whether you're looking to do what we're doing or something else, you got to have vision, right? Number two, you got to take action. Number three, you have to constantly be working on self, developing yourself, developing your team, making sure you're getting poured into, because a lot of times when you're on the journey, you're pouring yourself out into that journey. So make sure you pour back into yourself. All right. And the next thing is being able to fail forward. Don't be afraid to fucking fail. Newsflash, you're going to trip and fall on your ass. You're going to look stupid. Shit's going to go south. You just have to have the innate ability to know within yourself, it's not the end of the journey. It's not the end for you. You can get up, you can recover, you can do it all over again. Listen, I've gone broke more times than I can fucking count, right? Literally, me and Quentin made millions of dollars, and I can say that 90 days later, I was flat fucking broke. But you know what? The fact that I made $1 million once in 30 days, I can do it again.
That's facts.
Me and Quentin made 1.6 million in June of 2019, right? And if I'm not mistaken, the next month we went back and did 1.2.
Damn.
We can do it again. We've been broke. Both of us have been broke building this business, building other businesses, learning as we go, because neither one of us went to college. Neither one of us went and had any formal training. All we've done is been poured into by other people and learn going through the process. You know what I mean?
Well, you know
you
what you
can't
guys had?
duck the process.
You know what you guys had, though? You had two things in common, or one thing in common. You believed in you guys yourself.
That's
And
right,
you doubled down on yourself, and you were okay to be broke again.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? And that's it.
Because I know I'm gonna go back and get it, man. I'm unbreakable. And you know what? We all have our moments where we fall weak. We all have the moments where you need someone to come and lift you up and pat you on the back and tell you, hey, you got this. It happens. Listen, I have been weak in my closet, freaking crying just so I wouldn't let my kids see me like that.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
And literally called my best friend Quentin on the phone and be like, bro, you know, yada, 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 I'm going through it. And him like, hey,
deep breath.
bro, this ain't you. We don't do this punk ass shit. Let's go. Wipe yourself off. Let's get it again. We got this, you know, we got XYZ popping. Let's make this shit shake. And bro, we do it all over and over again. And all you do is get better at handling it. And then you realize that I can handle, or you can handle, any situation put in front of you. It doesn't matter. Nothing will break you if you don't allow it. And it's all about mentality, man.
100%.
Brother, listen, I thank you for coming on here today, man, and pouring value, man. I hope you guys got fucking value from my brother Anthony Lopez, all right? Remember the name because you're going to see it on billboards around the world, all right?
Damn.
You're going to see this. I'm speaking this. I'm manifesting this for you right
Manifest
now.
it, please.
All right? And we got some big shit in the works that is going to blow you guys' mind away because we literally just sit here and start creating visions, okay?
Yeah, you got some entrepreneurs in the room to get
I'm
there.
telling
We're
you,
about to
man.
start some businesses.
You're going to see this man on billboards. You're going to see this man on TV. You've already seen him on TV, but you're going to see him in ways that he hasn't done yet that are going to blow your mind away. And listen, man, I just am honored to have been able to meet you, brother, to call you friend, brother, and to know that, listen, you are going to do and say and build phenomenal businesses, people, and touch lives, man. And I hope I can just be a fly on the wall
You're
and
part
just
of
be
it.
there. You
You're
know
part
what I
of it,
mean?
man. You're part of my story, man. And thank you for having me on. And I hope that myself and Pablo brought value to at least one person, honestly. And if you didn't get anything from this podcast, that you were not listening, so you need to go and rewind this thing all the way back to the beginning and really focus on yourself. And there's a lot of knowledge dropped in this one right here, man. There's some great stuff. And thanks for having me on. I'm glad I get to share my story and continue to inspire and motivate whoever's willing to listen.
Well, listen, brother, before we dip, shout out all your information, man, because, you know, we got two different circles here that we're touching, right?
Yeah.
So I want all my followers, everybody who's watching this, man, go give this guy a follow, a like, look into his story, go more in depth. His story, his journey will inspire you and hopefully motivate you to see within yourself that you can too.
All platforms, heavy to modified, heavy TO, and then modified, not number 2, just heavy to modified. Type it in. If you want to Google and find about more of my weight loss journey, I believe Men's Health did a really good article. Just type in on Google, Anthony Lopez weight loss. Other than that, I have nothing to sell, nothing to pitch, other than the dream to fucking believe in yourself and do what the fuck you want to do if you're willing to put in the work.
I love it, bro. Let's fucking go. Thanks, guys.
You can't expect nobody to believe in your dream. It wasn't theirs in the first place. This is self-proclaimed 3. Yeah, I told them I would make this happen. I told them I didn't need a genie. Fuck wishing I'ma work. This ain't no Aladdin. I told them everything was all imagined and that my mind was just a weapon that I meddled in to make maggots. Told them I would win. I would never stop. Told them I would make it. Told them I would fucking climb up to the top. How I did it, climb mountains, wasn't afraid of it.